Infinite waves of aloha. It is the accelerating exponentially, the pono, the well-being of our aloha, and sharing the technology of scalar waves and how you can take the infinitive that is found here in our energy of aloha and the creation of a technology by a true kahuna, Dr. Sandra Rose Michaels, who is an honorary and also the representative and minister of health for the Republic of the New Lemuria. It gives me great honor to bring her here, and also Teresa Moore, who is an educator, to share with everyone a new model of the infinite waves of aloha and how biotechnology and the scalar energy that's around us, even though it's not measurable, is observable and being used in our health to create well-being. So I want to thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us on.
This is really an important subject, you know, to fulfill the prophecy, to share the aloha, to heal the world. You know, we have such global issues that are huge in health. And I wanted to talk about with you, Sandra, how your invention, which actually started from learning how to heal on the Big Island, how to heal others, came about. That, you know, for the last 4 years, you've been traveling globally, and I've tried to get you in the studio, but you're finally coming back and bringing it where it started, and I thank you for that.
It's good to be home in Hawaii, and yes, I've been teaching holistic health all over the world, literally, for more than 35 years, and you know, yes, recognized as a kahuna on the Big Island and here on this island. That's more than 25 years, and they shared what the fulfillment of the prophecies of Aloha brings to the world, and that is that we heal the world with aloha, that it's aloha that heals the world in the time of crises. So what I have been doing for the last 20 years, I've invented and developed and researched a technology that is true bioscalar, and I'm a researcher in applied integrated biophysics, and I lecture then all over the world for medical schools, for ministries of health, and we're bringing, it's based on that pure aloha, that pure sacred dance of aloha, the breath, that oneness with the breath and the love of all life. So wherever I am in the world, when I address a group, say an anti-aging medical conference, for example, I'll start by saying aloha. And aloha means that oneness with the breath and the love of all life, and we're here to share in that aloha spirit. When I talk about that dance, it's that breathing in of all the love of the universe, all the power, all the light, all the love of the entire universe. We have access to unlimited power, infinite intelligence, unconditional love. Everybody's heard about these things all over the world. Mm-hmm. It's in every religion. We have access to all that, so what's the problem? When you breathe it in, God's no longer out there, it's within you. So breathing in all that power, unlimited power of life into your heart, because you can't share something you haven't let yourselves really have. So you breathe it in, and love is letting go. There's nothing to hold on to in that flow. Aloha, oneness with the breath of the love of all life. You see, that's an infinity wave. And when you apply that to the body, as in Lomi, that is what allows that spiraling into the double helix of the DNA to release anything that is not the core, which is literally, scientifically, the light from the stars.
You know, and you had mentioned how it's about bringing back the pono that creates that well-being again. So what I find so amazing is that the Hawaiians knew this for years. And really, you're just reminding us, you're just bringing back the ions and bringing back what has already been there.
Yeah, this is ancient sacred science, but applied, you know, in in a true technologically advanced way.
Well, it's amazing because you were on the Big Island and you were basically learning the ways of the kahuna. And when these insights on the scalar wave, because it's not something really measurable, even though it's observable. So tell us a little bit how you invented and how you brought the technology into a usable way for health.
Well, my history is that of, I love miracles. That's what I live for, and creating accelerated evolution. That true, enlightenment of consciousness, because that's what heals. When you touch people, it's that touch of love and aloha that we really, share from our hearts. So in that presence. So it wasn't really my idea to develop a technology, because I was so acutely aware of how detrimental and destructive fields can be. So I had my children at Malama Lama Waldorf School, and my kids never had a television because I was so acutely aware of how detrimental and destructive
The different hurts and the different ways.
And to me, computers were like the beast.
So for you to come up with this is sort of amazing, because
But there is a law. Ask and you shall receive. The clearer your questions, the clearer the answers, always. And so I asked, after I was traveling 100,000 miles, I've traveled, like I talked about, for a very, very, very long time all over the world. And I would fly into a place and I would share 40 hours straight of sessions back to back, lines of a waiting list of people every place I went. And being a healer to the elite also, because how we create influence is working with the influential, which is why we're here, is to create influence and to empower people to create the changes in the world.
And women are so good at that, because we're so good at seeing each individual's importance. And that's why I think for you to bring this through the Aloha is just amazing.
And so I asked the question, well, now how do we create that next level of expression? How do we really heal the masses? How do we really bring it to the world? And this was given in a meditation as an assignment to program technology to emulate my work, to generate those fields of consciousness that radiate through the body. And that's what I call cellular enlightenment, and that interface with the DNA. So the technology looks like it's straight out of the Genome Project, although I began it more than 20 years ago.
It's almost like a Star Trek type of invention when you see it.
Yeah.
It's so advanced and yet so everywhere, but not observable. And so to bring it into where people are allowed to be within that field, I think is just amazing.
Yeah. It's a fascinating project because it is literally all over the world, and it is back here in Hawaii, and it's with Dr. Terry Shintani.
Well, it's at the University of Hawaii, which to me, when I heard that the John Burns School actually put this technology...
This is due to Dr. Terry Shintani, who is the chair of complementary alternative medicine and has the clinic at the medical school.
He's a big visionary. I've actually interviewed him several times.
And I have loved his work since he began his work in Waianae, and he had the book, The Waianae Diet, Teaching the Principles. That was required reading for my students. Then he had, because I've taught for so long. And then the Hawaii Diet, and he's very famous for that. And I'm very, very excited, too. I had him recognized and honored with knighthood in the oldest historical hereditary order of the Knights Hospitaller of St. John of Jerusalem. And it's about true humanitarian service. Well, he's MD, JD, and MPH, Master in Public Health as well. Harvard trained in nutrition. I think he's got some
physics, he's a lawyer. I mean, his degrees are just quite outstanding.
And one of the gifts that he did is he legalized Hawaiian traditional healing.
Wow.
And that's amazing to think that in the state of Hawaii, the very practice of the culture was not legal.
That's
I mean, think about that. you know, and so to be able to bring it back, and you know, we've had so many other culturally accepted, but yet the culture and the practice of the Hawaiians wasn't legal.
Yes, it was illegal on the Aina, illegal in the state of Hawaii.
And so through the John Burns Medical School, it was just amazing when he did that. That's been, gosh,
and so I really
years.
wanted to honor him for his long time service to humanity, to the people, you know, to the Native Hawaiians, and really wanted to bring our technology to the Native Hawaiians as well. And so we had him recognized as a knight in the order. And so I'm very happy about that. And I'll be having a program with Dr. Shintani on Tuesday, February 1st.
Oh,
free
that's
for
right.
the community.
Yeah.
Absolutely free for the community. We'll both be sharing our experiences with the technology from all over. You know, I'll be sharing from all over the world. I just came in from Bahrain. I was in Germany. I was.
Wow. So when you talk about the technology, you're talking about a computer program that's on a computer, right? Is that? Could you talk about the technology? And we know Aloha, we know Lomi Lomi, but how do you make the transfer over to the technology?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the technology.
Yeah, the technology itself is generating those fields of consciousness. They're bioactive fields, extraordinarily bioactive fields that support true cellular regeneration. It also synchronizes right and left brain hemispheres, creates those ultimate learning states, perfect balance, Pono, right relationship, and it's doing that dynamic homeostasis. We can talk all about the physics and the biophysics because it's doing a hydrobifurcation. It's releasing the active hydrogen in the body and the active oxygen.
So it's unifying
Yes.
and regenerating, or?
Yeah, it's raising the millivoltage of the cells, like you recharge your cell phone, but how do you plug your whole body back into that cosmic light socket?
Right.
Where the power that made the body heals the body. When the body has the right energy, it will heal anything and everything, and that's what we're seeing.
So you've designed a software that goes into a computer that radiates this energy?
It's a whole system. In the way it's installed, everything is very precise, set up with lasers. It looks like 12 strands of DNA on the screen, and you have photonic fusion of the photonic fields, like a CERN or Fermi Labs. You know, so it's a photonic fusion device, and also the scalar, so which is nonlinear, non-Hertzian, fifth-dimensional standing waves. So it creates those standing Coulomber waves. So we can talk more about there's lots of science, but it looks like computers, but we're using computer technology as field engine generators.
Field engine generators. Great. That's a
And
great.
so the actual technology is called an enhanced energy system. Is that correct?
Yeah, energy enhancement
Okay,
system,
okay.
or EE system is what it's most known as, but it's also a true bioscalar technology.
And so whether you're having concerns with, I mean, the gamut of health-related issues that it can start to rejuvenate. Can you just review a little bit what are some of the common things that people
Common. Well, we can all, we'd rather grow younger than older, so obviously it is wonderful for hair, skin, nails. I mean, I'm a grandmother with 4 kids. I mean,
Wow.
you know,
I haven't made it the grandmother part yet. I keep wanting it.
mine are 24 to 38, and no, I did not start at 14.
yeah.
You know, so anyway, and I have 3 grandbabies. We just want the whole world to be a healthier place for everyone to live in optimum expression of their life. What if you could do everything you really want to do to fulfill your highest potential? That's what exponential is about, is bringing everything to its highest expression, highest potential, highest purpose.
And globally, with the huge issues we're seeing worldwide in health, what would you like to see? What are some of the solutions you're hoping to bring?
Well, this creates a very, very elegant detoxification. For example, we're living in a toxic soup between the toxins in the air, the water, the products, the food, etc. And you've got to be able to detoxify. That's a part of when you increase the energy in the cells. The first things that the cells of the body want to do is it's to clean house.
Right.
You know, it's got the energy to get rid of the stuff that's accumulating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and then you're raising the energy levels. Now, in that, I love miracles. We literally have, I mean, I'm so blessed that, you know, I get the stories every day from around the world of the blind seeing,
Wow.
full clinically documented, blind seeing, the regeneration, true cellular regeneration, lame walking, you know,
Wow.
the deaf hearing. So I'm in the, you know, I'm in the bloodline from Martin Luther also. So he led a reformation. We're here to lead a health reformation.
Mm-hmm.
How do we heal the world?
Right.
How do we bring healing to the masses? How do we clean up the environment? And I'm working with top scientists, and we really have everything we could possibly need right now to reverse not just aging, not just disease, but to reverse any and all the problems around the world. And it literally is with our being willing to show up and share with that spirit of aloha. And it's the women stepping forward to say, you know, we're the natural healers.
Well, and your wealth
And enough
is your
of-
well-being.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the earth and the Aina. You know, that the wealth and the well-being of our Aina, our soil, is some of our richness that we don't recognize. You know, and so when we talk about global currencies and things, people forget that your well-being is your wealth, that your Aina, which is your land, is your wealth. And I think it's the women that are starting to bring this vision and the mission of it's not just a financial currency.
Yeah.
There is a greater currency out there beyond what we can even understand, and that the sharing of aloha helps to bring these models.
It's ohana, you know, the spiritual family that breathes together. Part of what our technology does is each and every system where it's installed creates a electropollution-free zone, electrosmog-free zone, electropollution-free
So it
zone.
actually helps even your
For
neighbors.
2 miles,
Yeah, 2
every
miles, wow.
direction,
Yeah.
besides the hyper-healthy energy within the system. You know,
And so having one at the John Burns School is just not only helping the athletes there and the professors in it, but so it's actually helping the neighborhood and the community.
yeah, it's creating a cohesive, unified field, which, you know, literally harmonizes all the dirty electricity, EMF, ELF, the radiation, you know, eliminates radiation. And even with the microwave tower in sight, it's measured 0.0. And this is some of the science. We'll share, we'll go through some of the research from around the world. But the results are by the fruits you know. Or Pono, effectiveness is a measure of truth. And what we're seeing, I just got a call yesterday, another person who had reversed leukemia completely.
Wow.
So,
So,
for example-
just to get it clear for the average person who doesn't know science, who doesn't even know 1/10 or 1/100th of the words that came out of your mouth, because you remember not all of us have that kind of
So in layman's
education.
terms,
In layman's
simple,
term,
a fifth
so we're
grader.
talking
I
about
would tell a fifth grader.
we're talking about a computer. I'm going to use simple terms. A computer with a program that sends out this field of energy, and you have them set up in different offices or different centers, and people come to that center and just sit in that space.
Permeate.
And in
Right.
that space, that energy field, that morphogenic field, starts to shift the energy in their body at the subcellular
Yeah,
level?
all the way
Is
down
that
to the
true?
receptor.
Yes, release of
Subcellular.
hydrogen and yes.
And so in
yeah.
that process, which is what we talk about as aloha, in that process, you've now created a technology that duplicates this energetic field of love. I'll just say
Yeah.
that, love of aloha, of
energetic
healing.
field of love is,
Yes.
it's life force.
Of life
I have
force,
a
and-
background also in chiropractic, and the power that made the body heals the body. One of the things I'm really excited about is we did receive for the first time in the history of the entire world, we received an award from the Chinese Qigong Grandmasters for the
Wow.
Qi Technology of the Year because it
Wow.
regenerates the source Qi.
So that's Dr.
The
Effie
life
Chow and
force.
her group
Uh-huh.
that do phenomenal things and see phenomenal things recognize the technology
Yeah,
and
the
the
Qigong
value.
grandmasters from China that don't like technology have never in the history of the planet given an award for technology, but they recognize that it's regenerating the Wan Qi or the source Qi, the life force, that life power. Like I said, turning the lights back on in the cells, but it's like plugging the body in, just like you'd recharge your cell phone. How do you recharge your body as quickly and easily as you recharge your cell phone? Nothing even touches it. There's not even a cord.
Right.
Yeah.
So does that mean that, well, I asked you what your vision, your global vision would be, and that would be to have one of these programs running in places around the world so it starts to shift energetically.
Yes, it needs to be everywhere. My mission is how do we heal the world?
And this
quickly,
this
easily,
equipment
elegantly,
can do
effectively.
that. Or this technology can do that.
Yes, and so it is all over the world. Every home should have one, is what one of our doctors said. Most of our systems are actually in private homes.
Wow.
And then they're in,
Well, I was
healing
surprised
centers,
Dr.
doctors'
Christensen,
offices.
Elizabeth Christian has one, and Dr. Vincent Ramos has one
Yes,
down in
Dr.
Eaton.
Vincent Ramos is in Eaton Square and has a wellness practice, anti-aging practice.
So anyone in the healing arts should have or be aware of it and have this
Absolutely.
device in their facility.
Yeah, this is true energy healing.
Now, someone who is really taking technology and media to the next level, is it possible that this can go over the internet? Is that
To
a new
degree.
challenge?
To a degree, what we want is that fusion of the photonic fields. And yes, it is broadcasting, and all of them connect. It's Tesla's work, where it connects through the planet, and every system that goes in expands those fields exponentially because they all link through the planet. So yes and no. Yes, we have been able to broadcast. In fact, if people go to the eesystem.com website, they can watch the little 4-minute special feature segment done on, CNN, and you can actually literally feel the energy off that. So that's
Great.
That's a free quickie.
Yeah, well, it's a way to experience it. And actually, when my mom was here in March, we actually got to put her in one of the systems on the Big Island. And she was here for quite a while. And when she left, she had they had decreased because she was becoming toxic on her medicines. They had decreased her dose amounts and actually taken her off for medicines.
Wow.
And so I know that part of her healing, her journey, was to meet you and to be able to be in that system.
Yeah, it is on the Big Island. It's good that we mentioned that. Dr. Noriko Tadakoro, who's a doctor of Oriental medicine, acupuncturist, used for her own healing, of her regeneration of her heart after a stroke. And so she has it available. Also, Dr. Judy Fitzgerald, who runs the emergency room at Hilo Hospital, has it for her private healing center.
So let me ask you another question. If someone has one of these systems in their business or in their home, don't they start to resonate at a completely higher level? And in their own personal resonation, they'll start to shift other people. So your body then becomes, your body, your mind, all parts of your being start to shift others.
That's absolutely correct, because it's that generation of those fields of consciousness, of aloha, that raises the energy potential for everything. But also people will then have the energy to go back to living their greatest vision, their greatest dreams, their greatest life.
So it really brings more inspiration, not just well-being, but it brings also inspiration that you're able to share that energy with others, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Well, what I envision is as individuals become more and more enlightened,
Yes.
that enlightenment will raise everybody else. So
Yes.
whether you can have one in your home or whether you can have one in your business, just being able to associate with people like that is going to raise your own frequency, enlightenment, because you're working with people who are focused on raising theirs through your technology.
Right.
Is that
And what occurs is this resetting of the entire body temple, body system, resetting, with that synchronization of right, left brain hemispheres. People have been stuck in a fright, flight, or fight stress. Stress is the cause of, and this is the research. 95% of disease, they say, is caused by stress.
Wow.
That's the Stanford and Harvard studies. Yeah, and so this resets the body from that state of fright, flight, or fight, or stress, back to that point of balance in aloha, where the body then has the energy to heal anything and everything and everyone. You know, because we want all the healers to be in that full state.
True. And so if someone wanted to meet you, a good opportunity is on February 1st. Is that correct? And that's at the MOA Center at 7 o'clock. Is there a contact number for Dr. Because Dr. Shintani is the one pulling it together. And so it is a free event. And I really wanted people to know that you're, because you're going to be off again to who knows what part of the world. It was just fortunate I was here and you were here. Last time we met, we were actually on the Big Island. So we both tend to travel a lot. And to have you here, and if they want to find out more about the energy enhancement system, what's the best way to find out more?
Well, they can go to eesystem.com and look under events. But did you get the
address? It's up on the Poly, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's MOA Auditorium
Let me find it.
on Nuanu Pali.
Is it Nuanu Poly?
Nuanu Pali Parkway.
Okay, where did it go?
Yeah, so we could get that address for people, and also there is, they want to register for this. Can you put that? Can that
Because
be online?
I was surprised.
Can this go?
Well, this one won't, and, but I was surprised that the things that people, it's helped them with is their diabetes, lower back pain, memory loss, arthritis, seizure disorders. So it's not just a detoxification. Is what I
We've
was.
seen a lot with autism, a lot with Parkinson's, but it chelates heavy metals out.
And then they can actually call 808-628-8784. But I was trying to find the address for up there at the
They could also
MOA.
email you, Tina, right?
Yep. It's 1350 Nuanu Poly Drive. So if anyone's interested and wants to find out more about, and also, you're going to be on Oprah soon, I heard. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that yet, but I wanted to talk about that. We're almost out of time, but, it's just amazing, and I thank you we finally got to where we got you down here in the studio. It's been several years that we've been trying to work that out.
There is a registration, a website to register for.
Okay, so
is that on there?
I think it's on your EES website that they'll find the events details where they can go and register. So hopefully people will take advantage of you being here in town.
Yeah.
And if not, if you have any questions, you can either call me at 808-387-5010 or send me an email that I'll post at the end of the show. But I want to thank you for being here and bringing your technology, the infinite waves of Aloha. And thank you, Teresa, for joining us.
So welcome.
And we'll
Thank you.
keep in touch.
Aloha,
See where you are.
mahalo. Thank you.